Welcome back to another episode of F1 Ultimate Career Mode, following along with Christian Waters, our driver. So last episode we left off with some contract offers. We've got 3 contract offers to get through this episode, so let's go through those now and see what we got. Keeping in mind, obviously, the goal is to become world champion as quickly as we can. We want to become ultimately a multiple world champion, and we have got 3 offers from the 3 backmarkers. So Caterham, HRT and Marussia all want our services for 2013, and none of these teams make any sense for us. We said no to Sauber. We're definitely saying no to these 3. Instead of sitting on it, we are rejecting all 3 offers. There's just no way we're leaving Toro Rosso for any of these 3 teams the next season. Just makes no sense at all. But we're here for the Singapore Grand Prix. I enjoyed the circuit, and this is like the old circuit with the old Singapore sling, so it is a little bit different to the current Singapore circuit. So I haven't driven this again in many years, so this should be quite interesting. So here are the driver standings. Lewis Hamilton, Jenson Button and Fernando Alonso top the table at the moment, with ourselves in 9th place on 70 points. Massive gap still to Daniel, which is good. So really are putting ourselves in contention for that seat at Red Bull. And I think at this point Christian Horner and the guys at Red Bull know what we could achieve if we were given the right car. So let's get to practice. Alright, cutting to our first time lap in practice here at the Singapore circuit. Yas Marina, the Singapore circuit is pretty fun. It is quite challenging, especially in these older cars. The sort of, slow corner, curb attacking style of the current cars is not really something that these old ones were particularly good at least until 2017 when they became a lot wider. But we were trying to just get the rhythm. I had a setup that was better for the corners than for the straights, and unfortunately, it was definitely a better setup, I think, in hindsight, for qualifying than it was for the race, which we'll soon see. But yeah, just skipping to the end of practice here, and definitely getting the track hooked up and outdoing the pace of the car, which was good. I wasn't sure whether we'd be fast here. It is a circuit that I like. I just wasn't sure how we would go, but so far it's looking good. So that was the end of practice, P9, so a minute 50.1, which is a fairly decent time. If we can do that consistently in the race, that it would be a good race pace to have. So the team want us to finish at 12th or above for qualifying. So I wasn't sure where we were with the pace, but I wanted to just make sure that we weren't chewing through all our option tyres too soon. So at least in Q1 I wanted to go out on some soft tyres first and just see where the pace was. So this was at the end of my, sorry, this is sort of in the middle of my first time lap, and the pace was still good. I was not over driving or anything, so I was pretty confident that I'd be able to at least get through to Q2 on this set of soft tyres, and that way we had a couple of sets of super softs, not only for Q3 but also for the race as well, in case we had like safety cars or whatever, and we had the opportunity to change back to softs, super softs, because it is the nicer tyre to be on a street circuit like this. But yeah, we come around the final corner here, and it's looking good to the line. It's a 150.6, so it's solid. It is a solid time on soft tyres, and I'm looking at where we are on the timing screens, and I'm thinking to myself that that's more than enough to get into Q2. So I didn't feel the need to go put some soft tyres on there and go for another run. I thought we would clear the bottom easily there. So we just skipped to the end of Q1 and we just watched the times go through here. Hamilton looks like the fastest time is about a 150. So I knew that 150 would be possible with some super softs on. Once again, knocked out Daniel. So he's knocked out of Q1. So Q2, I just go out on the scrubs just for like a timed lap, just like a test lap, effectively, just to get a banker in and make sure that we have something. But I'm feeling good still. The balance of the car feels really good on light fuel with this setup. And little did I know that as soon as we added heavy fuel, this setup would become a bit of a monster to deal with. But this at the moment, it's all feeling really good. So I'm super excited about the race already. I feel like we've got fantastic pace and we're going to be pretty formidable on the track as we do a 149.5 on used soft tires. That is a really good lap. And once again, I'm not sure. I didn't think that we needed to go out again, so I didn't. We've qualified to Q3 without using a single set of super soft tires, which is absolutely amazing. We are on the pace, and I'm feeling a win. Like at this point, I am confident that we can qualify at the top of the grid and win the race. Because if this is how good the pace is, like our best time is a 149.1. Like that is a stonking time for race pace, and I know just how much slower the AI are on race pace versus qualifying pace. So if we start on pole, so long as I have a good start, we're in for a good one. But this is our final run in Q3. We're sitting 9th at the moment as we go through the Singapore Sling here. That is the old part of the circuit. It's definitely not as flowy as it is, or as fast as it is today. This braking zone is a lot easier in these old cars. As we go down the back straight here, I'm trying to get as good of an exit as I can. And we are still purple, 4/10 up on Webber here, 1.1 seconds faster than our last lap. It is a flyer. And we come out of the penultimate corner towards the final corner, foot flat as early as I can. And it's a 148.1. That is fast. Very happy with that lap. And we have got our very first pole position in our F1 career. That is a huge moment. And Christian is definitely basking in that one, showing Red Bull what's possible. He's like, look at me, man. If you just put me in the other Red Bull, this will be us every weekend. So we're in for an exciting race, I think. All right, I did have a quick squiz and a big think about the strategy, but given that we're starting on pole for the race, I did not want to start on the worst tyre, knowing that we are incredibly out of place on the grid. I wanted to give us the best shot of coming off the line. We've got Webber right next to us, and we've got Lewis Hamilton right behind us. This is truly a sight to behold. The first time with literally no cars in front of us, and we have 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we go at Singapore. For once, it is an okay start, but we still get mugged off the line by Webber. I know I just need to keep with him, and Webber goes in too deep, and we go right around the outside. We're able to keep our place. Pure luck there. Webber would have had us if he hadn't gone deep there, and so we keep the position. And I knew basically from that first part that we were in for a hard one, because although we're pulling away here, I just didn't feel as confident as I did in the car during qualifying. Like, the car had this very heavy understeery characteristic that just it didn't have before, and in all fairness, I had not driven a lot in this car with the heavy fuel, and so my entire feeling of the car was basically muted, and I was struggling to get the kind of lap times I was getting in qualifying, as we'll see in a second. And that was sort of the end of the first lap, and I was struggling to build a gap. The Red Bulls were absolutely faster than us here. As you can see, Webb's having a look. There's nothing doing there this time, but in the back of my head, I know it's just a matter of time, and I'm just desperate to show some speed. So I try to lock in and just focus on my braking points, focus on accelerating out of the corners. As we fast forward to start lap 3, and I've still got this train behind me. Basically the entire field, effectively, other than maybe the back markers, are right behind us. As Webber dives around the outside, and we've got the better line into this corner here. Quick defense by me, and able to keep the position, but Webber is hungry. He's wanting that place, and he is faster. And we've got Vettel also right behind him as well, so I don't exactly have a free run to the end here. Almost half expecting Christian Horner to come on the radio and ask me to move out of the way, but it would be a pretty low thing for them to do, to move Christian Waters out of the way after getting pole position. And coming into lap 5 now, and you can see the gaps have not really changed. I'm only doing like a 152.4, which is really slow compared to what we were doing in qualifying, as Webber basically touches our rear wheels there. I'm just going so slow into these corners, and it's not like I'm doing it on purpose. Just the car is not behaving as it was during qualifying, so it is complete garbage to drive in comparison. I'm in full defense mode as we go nearly completely over the curbing there, but I've managed to keep everyone behind now for 5 laps, and this sort of pack, so the first 12 positions are all breaking away now from the midfield. Webber's having another look. We've broken away from the pack now, and in all this defending, I am not able to pull any sort of gap or get into any good rhythm, and the handling of the car certainly doesn't help. Don't really want to make excuses, but that's just how it feels to drive. But we're coming to the end of the stint already, and we've managed to stay in the lead this entire time. This is the longest time we've been at the front of a Formula One race, and we almost don't belong here. The car is definitely too slow for this circumstance, and we are just making it as wide as we can to get the best result possible. If we can win this race, it is going to be a huge coup for our chances at getting a Red Bull seat for next season. We know that Sebastian Vettel got his first Red Bull seat the year after he won the race at Monza in a Toro Rosso. We know just how powerful that would be. And we have broken away a little bit from the group behind, but I'm just struggling to get into this rhythm, and I've got Webber breathing down my neck. We're not dealing with the pressure of leading a race. This is just pure rookie nerves, as you can see. And we're doing our best, but the Red Bull is clearly superior in almost every aspect, in terms of downforce, in terms of drag, as we go completely off the circuit there. Webber can see a chance here, but luckily I cover off the inside line and just stop any sort of move here. But I'm losing concentration and I'm losing grip. The tyres are worn out, and it is time to come into the pits. As you can see, my pit stop is flashing, and all the front runners on Super Softs are going to want to come in at the same time. So all four of us here in the lead are going to pile into pits here. And this pit lane is a weird one. It's incredibly tight. It's very, very difficult to navigate. And now we're just hoping for a fast pit stop so that we can get back out in front. If we can get just back out in front, we are still on for the race win. Moving to soft tyres, and my pit crew have to stop for quite literally that entire group. So we drop from first to fourth in the pits, and that is frustration. I try to keep up with them coming out the pit lane, and unfortunately I hit the inner barrier and it pushes me wide, and we get a penalty coming out of the pit lane exit. It is a drive-through penalty. It is the absolute worst thing that could have happened. Oh, this race has gone from so good to so bad so quickly, and we're not on the pace. It's not like going through this drive-through and then coming out we're going to be able to fight our way to the top. I'm not feeling great about where we are now, and I'm just hoping that we don't lose too many positions as we come back into the pits for our drive-through penalty. I just figure there's no point in delaying it. I might as well serve it as early as possible to give us the best chance of catching back up. But yeah, there's no one waiting for us here. There's Caterham and Marussia come in for some pits. But this time, as I'm coming out, I am very, very careful to make sure that I take this corner so slowly and don't hit the rear of my car on it. But now we are 15th. So we've gone from first to 15th in this in just a matter of 2 laps in this race. And like, you could say it is our fault, but I had no control over that pit exit. I had no idea that the hitbox for that wall was going to push us out like that. It's incredibly frustrating. But fast forwarding to lap 9 now, I'm pushing as hard as I can. I've got rich fuel mix on. I'm trying to catch the group ahead. If I can just get closer to the points, that would be fantastic, as I completely bottle it again. Just overdriving the car, and yeah, I'm driving like an absolute mug at the moment. 6 laps from the end, we're in the middle of nowhere, 15th. Our tyres are only barely just heating up. We have no hope of a good result unless something really dramatically changes between now and the checkered flag, like a safety car or something along those lines. We are screwed. We finally set the fastest lap all race, but it is still just miles off what I know we can do. You know, we are about 3 seconds off what we were doing in qualifying, and it's not exactly like we've got high fuel. Yes, the car is better to handle now, but we have just been driving sloppily, and unfortunately, this is an example of Christian Waters' peakiness. You know, he just has the highest of highs and sometimes the lowest of lows all bundled into one. And it is something that he's going to have to get under control. As we close in on the final lap, we have Pastor Maldonado catching us now. And I know as well, I outbrake myself again. I just know that he is in a faster car. The Williams is a much quicker car in F1 2012 than the Toro Rosso. So I've got to just concentrate if I want to keep 14th. I know it's disappointing and I know it's not the result we wanted, but it's what we have. So we've just got to knuckle down and get to it. And he's right on the back of us on the final lap of the race here. And I'm making my car as wide as I can make it. I'm trying not to be too aggressive with the braking. I haven't been really hitting my brake marks as good as I had during qualifying, so that's a big problem. As we go down the back straight, Mark Webber wins the race. What could have been on this one? Yeah, really frustrating race. Really frustrating race. And we're nearing the end of this season. Like this series, we've only got 2 weeks left of the 2012 season before we get to 2013. So only 6 more races to go, and we've let our team down, and we haven't shown very well to Red Bull that we can lead a race yet. And I don't think that they would give us grace for anything. So yeah, not the greatest start to, well, not the greatest end to that race, but it is what it is, unfortunately. But yeah, I certainly feel that after the pits that 4th place was certainly possible, and that would have been a massive coup anyway, even if we hadn't have won the race. But we're falling further behind 8th place, and we are very behind our rival that we accidentally selected last time out. We still haven't got Daniel closing in anywhere. He finished last in this last race, so I don't suspect that Red Bull are going to be considering him at all. He should be probably more worried for his own future. But the real question is are we doing enough to get Red Bull's attention? And I'm sure that in the coming races we're going to find out what our future is, because Toro Rosso haven't approached us with a contract yet, and Red Bull haven't approached us with a contract yet either. So yeah, we've still got, I think, some more performances to put through before they make a decision, and they're in no rush. Webber and Vettel are both contracted for 2013, so they don't need to rush to a decision. They've got 2 drivers, and they want to see everything that we can offer before they make their decision. But next race is in Japan. We do have, it looks like, an upgrade coming for the car for the Japanese Grand Prix, which should be good. Japan is one of the best circuits on the calendar, and it's one of my personal favorites. So I'm really looking forward to racing there next week. But yeah, that's it for this episode. A bit of a disappointment again, but it's given us some hope. We have shown that it is possible for us to get a pole position, and it is possible for us to fight at the front. All we need is less peakiness, more consistency, and we're on for hopefully a showing at the next race. So thank you everyone for watching. If you have liked the video, please like and subscribe, and if you have any suggestions, put them in the comments below. But that's all for now. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys next week for the Japanese Grand Prix.